Welcome to this YouTube channel. Today we are going to look at the Sumproduct function. It is called the Sumproduct function. That's what we are going to look at today. And to demonstrate the Sumproduct function, I have four practical examples to show you. My first example is this one, where we have a product, unit price, quantity, and the total value of the sale. Total value of the sale is got by the unit price times the quantity, then we add them up to get to this. So instead of doing this in all these steps, we can do that in one step by using the product function. We can get this total in one single step using the Sumproduct function. That would be the first example. In the second example, we are going to use the same information, but this time we want the sum product of a particular item. So I have data here, but I want the sum of a particular item. For example, B, I will want only B coming out through the Sumproduct function. Example 3, whereas in this example 2, I'm just looking at the product. In example 3, I'm looking at two conditions. I want the product and the region. So I want product A and region A, and what is the sum from this information? That will be our example 3. And our last example, I will look at the all function, how you can use the all. So either north or south. So what is the sum of north or south using the Sumproduct function? Those are the 4 examples to demonstrate how we can use the Sumproduct function. This is what we're going to look at today. Let's get started. Now, for the first one, instead of doing all this work, I can come here and I say Sumproduct, the array. So I want this array times this array. You see, I get the same result here. So what it is doing, it is saying this times this, plus this times this, plus this times this, plus this times that. So instead of doing all the hard work through the individual steps, we can have one step where we say the Sumproduct of this range times this range. So, and the default actually is Sumproduct. If I come back here, you see it gives array, comma, array. So the other option is to say this one, comma, times this one. By default, it is going to do a multiplication. Or we can say this product sum, where we say this value times this value, close the brackets, we get the sum, the same result as when we put a comma. So there are cases where we shall need the multiplication, and there are cases where we just need a comma. By default, it is a comma, but the multiplication also works. Next, I also wanted to show you that if in case I just come here and I say Sumproduct, and I just give it only one array, guess what will happen? What will happen to just add these and give you the result, as you can see here. So if you just say sum, give it that, give you the sum of that. For example, Sumproduct, I can just do this. If I want the sum of this, so you can use the Sumproduct to get the sum of a column. So the sum of this is 60, as you can see here, down right here. So that is also a situation you can use a Sumproduct. The next example, in this example, Whereas in this first example, I looked at the sum for all the products, multiplied, then summed them up for all the products. In this second example, I want to multiply and sum them up for a particular product, like B. So let's see how we can do that. We say sum product. Then I'll explain what is happening here. So I want this one here. For this product I'm choosing, I want it to be equal to the value I place here. Then open close brackets. Then I want to multiply this with this. Then after multiplying, I add them up. So open brackets, multiply this one with this one here. Then we close our brackets like so. So it is telling me it is 400,000. B adds up to 400,000. We have a B here. This is B. We have another B here. And when we add them up, we get 400,000. If we change this to A, we get 420. It is taking this one, leaving out that. We look for another A, which is this. Takes that, leaves out this, and we get 420. So we put C, get to 60. We have a C here, which is 60, and another C here, which is 200, to get to 60. So you can use the sum product to calculate the sum of a particular product. You have a set of data with different products, but we want the sum product for one product. We can use this formula here. Having done that, I want you to understand what is going on in this formula. When you look at it, it is quite confusing. C2, C7 equals to C4, bracket times D2 to D7, then times. So let me try to explain what is going on here. Now, the first part of the formula says C2 to C7 equals C11. So I come here and say C2 to, it is this C2 here. Let me lock that. And it is saying is equal to this one here. Let's lock that, do that. So if I do that, I return false. Okay? So in other words, it comes and checks, is this C equal to this? No, false. Is this C equal to B? No, false. Is this C equal to this C? You see, it returns true here. And then the last one, there's also C, it returns true. So this is what happens. Then I multiply that. If I go back to my formula here, I said this, which gives me this result of true and falses. Then I have this D2 to D7. So I come here, I say D2 to D7. I'm going to pull it down, so let me lock it. Then when I do that, what does it do? It brings the values in column D and puts them here. Then we go back to our formula, E2 to E7. It is similar to this one, so I say E2 to E7. I'm copying it down, so I have to lock it. Then it brings these values. Now, when I go back to my formula here, it is a multiplication of the false values with the div column values and the E column values. So I come here and say, okay, false, multiply it by that, multiply it by that. Then I copy that formula down. So you see everywhere there is a false, I get a 0. Everywhere there is a true, I get this multiplication. These are falses, I get 0. And here I get a true. So it adds up on the true to get the 260. So this is how this formula works. So it checks, leaves out the true, multiplies, get a 0, and the true ones it takes. In other words, in short, a false is taken as a 0, that's why you get 0 here, and a true is taken as 1. So it is 1 times 10 times 6, which is 60,000. Now, because of that true and false, changing it to 1, we can use it to get a sum of a particular product. As you can see, very dynamic. If I change it to A, I get 420 there, 420 there. That is my example 2. Let's move to example 3. In example 3, I'm going to look at 2 conditions, A and product A and the region. In other words, I want the sum where the product is A and the region is north. That's what we are going to look at in this scenario. So I say sum product. Then for this product here, I need to open my brackets and say for this product here, let's lock it. It needs to be equal to this one here. So this will return me true or false. Then, and the true is a 1 and the false is a 0. So I'll multiply this 1 or 0 I've got from here with, open brackets, this region needs to be equal to the region I'm going to put in B11, B11, like so. Then this also will return a true or false. So I'll be multiplying 1, 2. Then I multiply that with this value here. Close that bracket, close that bracket. So it is telling me that if we have product A and north region, the sum is this. So you check A, north, we have only 1. If I change this to A so that we have 2A and north, it will add this and this. So let's change this to A. So you can see it is adding, and we get this plus this, we get 120. The logic is the same as I explained in earlier case. The first item here returns a true and false, which is either 1 or 0. The next one also returns true and false, which is true. It is, if it is true, it is 1, and false is 0. Then this column, then it multiplies this and gets this. After getting this, it sums them up and get this total here. Next, example 4. In this example 4, I'm going to use the all. Whereas the and in this example is a multiplication, the all is addition. So what are we going to do? This is the same data. We have the product, the region, and the sales. And we want the sum of either south or north. We want the sum of either south or north. Okay, so how are we going to do this? We are going to say sum product Let me first get what I'm going to sum. I lock it. Then I'll be multiplying that with something here. Whatever comes here needs to return true and false. So for south here, we are saying, let's open another bracket and close it. So we are saying for this region, I lock that. I want it to be equal to the cell B11. B11. So I type here B11. Let's lock that. So this one is going to return true or false. That's the first check. Then I also going to check again whether this region again is now B12. Let's lock this equals B12. Also lock it. So I need to check that I've locked all that I'm supposed to lock, or else it is going to give me errors. So this one, I need to put a comma here. Okay. So it is going through this and picking north and south and adding them up. So it is north and south. Let's check whether it is correct. This is north, it picks it. It picks the value here. Next, this is east, it leaves it out. North, it picks this. South, yes, it picks. East leaves out, south leaves out. Then adds these two to get the 680. The most important thing here is to understand what this formula is doing. What if I broke it down, just like the other ones, this one here, and I put it here just to demonstrate what it is doing. This one, the first formula returns, bracket returns this. I come back here. The second bracket, this one here, is what I have to choose. This one returns the 1. And then after that, I'm multiplying the 2. This whole bracket, and this whole bracket. So I multiply the 2, this times this, like so. Then after that, I add them up with the sum formula to get the 680 here, 680 here. So the most important thing is to understand what the formula is doing. This formula here returns true or false. A false is 0 and a true is 1. So if it is true, it will be 1. If it is false, it will be 0. So it will be 1 plus 0. And I get 1. Then that 1 is multiplied by the figure I have in this column. Then after that multiplication, it adds them up to get the result. That has been the sum formula. I've shown you how to use the sum formula to multiply and add figures, to use it for and, to use it for all. That's all I have for you today. Please, thank you for watching. If you have not subscribed, subscribe and share this video with as many people as possible. Have a great day.